Copy. Getting the chat set up over here real quick. All right, I think we got everything there. Finally, good morning, everybody. So just put this little thing in here real quick. And there we go. Good morning, good morning. We're ready to get started, are you? Good morning, Bosh. I know I moved. It's funny, my dog will follow me around the room, like, I move 3 feet to the left, and he'll come over and lay down over the feet over there, and 3 feet to the right, and he'll come and lay down over the feet over there. So I think it's okay to just stay in one spot. Alright, so this is going to be shortened up a little bit. Alright. Let's see if they have other shots from this film. Similar ones there. Just before I get them. Good morning, good morning. Alright, got our grid on there. Got a spammer over there. Let's get rid of that person. That. Oh, I guess this is where I signed out of. I see, because I signed out of our stuff. I'll deal with that later. They know their time. Looking forward to the fall weather coming in. All right, what do we got here? She's more or less kind of off here. There we go. Good morning. Oh, hello. Good morning. Chair there. My little support over on the side. Wall right here. Good morning. The next one is reaching out. She's back here. This is the third line where the door is at. That makes sense. It's reaching across. Good morning. We put her in a frame even right there. That's nice. Good morning. Right. Good morning. A quick little morning warm up here with some film studies. This week, looking at, well, last couple of days, looking at the Shutter Island film. All right, ready for inks. Good morning, good morning. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. Got my nib. Good morning. Let's see. Good morning. Let's see. Good morning. Let's see. Good morning. Let's see. Good morning over there on Kick. Let's see. Good morning, good morning. Let's see. Some white paint. We're still working with Shutter Island. I think this is one of his memories or something. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, so I don't remember all the particulars. That's his wife in front of the window. I think this is like one of his little dreams or memories or delusions or whatever was in the movie. Phil in that chair. So I never watched Jag. That was like the 90s. I loved X-Files, Unsolved Mysteries, Strange Luck. There's a little obscure show, or Due South. Got the Due South DVDs around here somewhere. Strange Luck, you can actually watch the whole thing on YouTube. They've got like this, someone's uploaded like their VHS recordings of it there, because you can't watch it anywhere else. It's one of those Chris Carter shows. I forget the name of the main actor who's in it, but he's still around doing stuff. I don't remember his name though. I should go watch it. I just remember that they had that first. The Strange Luck show was interesting because every show was like a Rube Goldberg machine. Um, yeah, I have the Millennium DVDs around here somewhere too. It was kind of weird though when they got past the year 2000. It's like, well, where do we go from here? Because welcome to the millennium. All that Chris Carter stuff. I wonder so surprised like he's never really come back. Like they tried to bring the X-Files back a couple different times with the movies, or they did like a few extra seasons a while back, which I haven't seen. But the show really fell off after they kind of concluded the alien conspiracy. Yeah, Frank was great. It was that what's his face, the alien actor guy. I should pull out those DVDs. I think I have them all. Like I think it was a number of years ago. I went through all my DVDs and put them into MP4s on my computer. So I probably got it somewhere to watch. Um, but I've heard they're like restarting the X-Files up again. I don't know. I feel like that's a bad idea. Um, so I don't know. It kind of, especially, I think Dave Duchovny has really carried the show a lot. Like Gillian Anderson's okay, but I think the Mulder character was really the thing that carried it. And having her as a counterpoint was great, because she was like a rational Catholic or something, and he was like a secular irrationalist with the alien stuff. But so he was right, of course. But never listen to Gillian Anderson. That's what I always say. Never go wrong. But I'm doing great. Over there on YouTube. Let's see. Actually, I need that black ink. The next page. The next shot. But yeah, he was always flummoxed, right, by everything going on. So I don't understand what's all this crazy madness going on. I remember they did do an episode once. I think it was before Duchovny left. It was like these characters who were just like Mulder and Scully, like the red hair, or they had like the same look, and they kind of ran into some weird monsters. I think he like drove them crazy or something. Um, what am I drawing today? I am drawing some film studies for my morning study practice. So I like to get up in the morning and I have like a particular thing that I'm looking at. So I've been looking at cinematic approaches and thought this would be great. I did pick up the new Batman with Jorge Jimenez and Matt Fraction. Some good art in there. A few other things too, yeah, it was still. I mean, it was like the other X Files was fine, but it just didn't have the same kind of punch that the original series. I think one of the things I think I read Chris Carter talking about it once, where he brought up the fact that um, he was actually not really that interested in the alien conspiracy stuff, and X Files is kind of one of those shows that turned into like more of a serialized show, right? Because that was kind of that early period where they started having ongoing, long-term stories in TV rather than just one-off episodes. And he was really much more interested in the monster of the week stuff. I feel like you read his what he's talked about with the show. It's like, I mean, he didn't mind the alien stuff. He was really more into like the monsters of the show. Okay, that's kind of like Kirkman, being working at a comic book store before coming up with The Walking Dead. But yeah, but that was like his main thing. It's like he wanted to do like all the weird monsters once a week or something for the show. Which is why when like you look at like the second movie they did for X Files, like it's a Monster of the Week show. It's nothing to do with the aliens at all. I forget what the monster was though in that. But yeah, well, the thing is, you never know what's going to take you where, right? it's like the joke with Einstein, right? So he was a patent clerk. But I often recommend to my students, even like at universities, like don't always don't fret if you're not getting the job you want right away in whatever art industry. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm talking to over there on YouTube. I'm talking to the Instagram people. I signed out of a bunch. I've been getting like this weird thing on Instagram where I've been getting like 60, 100 new followers a day, but they're all bots. There's a couple exceptions in there, but they're all obviously like fake accounts. And so I signed out of Instagram, out of all of my other places outside my phone and the browser on my computer. And so the Instagram chat isn't showing up on the YouTube stream today. So yeah, we're talking about X-Files and Millennium and Strange Luck. Strange Luck, again, you can watch it on YouTube. You look it up, Strange Luck TV show. Someone's got a whole playlist for that. Same with like Robotech, with like all the Robotech series up on there. In the middle of the last one, I forgot how abruptly they ended those shows back then. It's like it just suddenly stops. You're like, oh, there's the end. It's like the very end of Robotech. They just kind of go to space, and you never hear about him really again. I guess in the final series, like one of the kids in the second to last one, she's like the daughter of some of the original characters, but you never see the original characters because she's like a mixed alien, mixed human thing. And then, yeah, you can watch it. The whole series is up on YouTube. Like, there's a channel that's got them all kind of stacked in a playlist. I remember watching that on VHS. I had a friend who had the series on VHS, bootleg or whatever, and borrowed this giant box to watch them on. There's some stuff they wouldn't be able to get away with today in there. Like everyone's chasing around like this 15-year-old girl. It's like, I don't know, it's a little, sketchy. It's the girl who's like the singer, pop star girl. I think she turned 16 or something in the first season or whatever. Maybe. She might even be younger than that. You're like, yeah, it's a little. But yeah, X-Files was a great show. Again, for me, it kind of just fell off after the 6th season. Like, it was still okay, but it wasn't. Once they kind of resolved all the alien stuff, it kind of lost its direction. I think that was kind of the run-through point, and it kind of just fell off there. I loved in the movie how Scully, she like gets sucked into this giant alien ship after getting kidnapped, and then she kind of passes out, doesn't see it fly away, and Mulder's just sitting there, just like, there's a giant alien spaceship right over the top of our heads. I also love the concept of the show that the black goo aliens were actually the original inhabitants of the Earth, like the original intelligent species, and that they were kind of in the oil somehow, or kind of masked in it. Oh yeah, well, I think the whole show was filmed in Vancouver. Yeah, please be kind, rewind, right? It's the mantra at the time. I'd say even millennials, for the most part, really aren't that VHS conscious. Certain degree, but they're probably more DVDs. I don't even think I have. I think I've got like 1 or 2 VHS tapes around here. One's for like a Lithuanian band that was sent to me by a friend. It's one of the final performances of Foyer, which is like the most popular band there. Yeah, but they had some cool shows back then. I really liked Due South. Was a really great show. the Chicago cop had like the most '90s, shirt, that big kind of bright yellow, loud kind of '90s fashion. And then when we finally go to Canada in the show, we find out that the Mountie that's with us in the main show is like he's the only Mountie that's like that. Everyone else is like really corrupt. Um, but yeah, I really liked a lot of that stuff. I'm enjoying this new Alien Earth show. I do get confused about why everyone that's like on one of these long-term ships is it's like almost always some kind of idiot plot with Alien. The recent episode showed how the Maginot ship got compromised. At least it was a different reason this time, like the why and how it happened. Um, but I don't understand. It's the only thing I don't like the show's well done otherwise, but it's always like even the recent Ridley Scott films with Prometheus and what was it, Covenant. It's like the people on the ship that are running these like $1 trillion projects are a bunch of morons, and you'd think they would pick people that are a bit more intelligent, especially since it's such a small group, to go on these extended trips. But cool stuff with the eyeball alien in there. What I'm using, well, I'm on different computer. I mean, I might be able to throw it over there. I'm not sure, but I'm just over on Pinterest, and I've looked up reference from the movie Shutter Island. I looked up Shutter Island film stills, movie stills. Yeah. Like I don't mind them being like workaday people. Like, and that was what you saw kind of in the first Alien film, right? Is they're all just kind of like they're just space truckers, and but yeah, it's just right here. But yeah, it's just but you look at film stills on Pinterest, you'll find a whole bunch there. It's one of the few areas you'll find, where like the AI nonsense hasn't taken over Pinterest completely. Um, that's what I've been doing for the last while. I'm up to what was it, 72, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've committed myself to doing 100 of these. So I've got another couple weeks of doing them. But but yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I don't know if my feed there is private or not for that one. I don't, don't really care about that unless I'm working on a specific kind of project. I don't want people to see what I'm researching, so no spoilers, right? But yeah, I'm doing these we call 3-value notans. I was doing some more outlining and stuff, but I've kind of shifted away from any outlines and just trying to focus on the light. I probably will. I may even later today. Um, so I'll probably be here tomorrow. I never want to promise that just because sometimes things get in the way. But You okay over there, Bosch? Jumping on your tail? He always stops when I ask him if he's okay because sometimes that's meant that I interrupt what he's doing. You know, I come take a look, it's like, are you okay? And I come over and, like, you know, poke at him and you know, try to see what he's doing. He doesn't like that, so it's like he's. I think I found he turns 9 next month, so in October, and he's doing great. You know, there's nothing. He doesn't like strike me as old man dog. He doesn't like to play as as heavy as he used to with other dogs, but especially young ones. But he's always had this kind of bump on his back. And people are like, oh, is that a cancer spot? I'm like, no, I think it's something else. But it's always been there. But I think I found one on his chest recently, kind of in his armpit. So I might need to go get that looked at. It's not very big, but he doesn't like me poking at it, looking at it. Very upsetting. Don't like to get poked. I don't like to get poked at either, so I understand. Yeah, but 3-value notan, basically what I'm doing is I'm compressing the shadows and the midtones and the light areas into single values as a practice. It's a good idea to do that just to kind of see how things work without having to use outlines. And it's helpful kind of as a design exercise to practice. 2-value is actually really good too. Where you only have one light and one dark. And everything has to fit. It's interesting how the light here doesn't really make any sense. Like, where's the light coming on the front of her chest? That's that bright compared to the especially the background light coming in from the window. She's got some serious light coming in from the front and above. But again, this is like a weird dream sequence too, so the lighting doesn't make sense exactly. If I remember, it's been a long time since I've seen the movie, but so. Alright, let's get some outlines on me, and then we'll call it for the morning. Yeah, I usually come up here in the first thing in the morning. Been running a little bit later than I intend lately, but that's just, I don't know, me. But hoping to, they usually get up around between 5:30 and 6. And then we head out with the dog for his WALK. Anywhere between like 15 to 40 minutes, just depending on which way we go, how far we go, and then come back and we usually have a cup of Joe. And then sometimes it's just that kind of transitional phase from coffee to study. It's going to take a little bit longer lately. Maybe I'm getting old. All right. And then let's put the date on here. 4th, huh? film. Shouldn't have to put the film every day, but yeah, why not? But yeah, picture should read, when you got that look. Um, well, in terms of art skills, when you're busy, I think the main thing is to have some kind of simple to identify ongoing project. So like, this kind of thing I'm doing here. So that's one, is just to have like a very specific project you're working on rather than something random. So if you're trying to change, if you change everything every single day, it's really, really hard to focus on anything. And if you're doing random stuff all the time, then it just kind of doesn't allow you to get better either. And so having some kind of specific ongoing project, like I decided I'm going to do 100 of these film stills. You don't have to do that many, but you could do that. Or it could be, I'm going to draw 100 hands from reference or my own hands. So you could pose your hand and then sketch it for yourself. Because, depending on the areas you want to work on. And then the other thing is to have a specific place where you work on that. So like when I go to bed at night, I've got my drafting table, which is right here. It's a big table. I have a specific room, for doing this work in. But before I go to bed, well, most every time, I think I did do it this morning, but generally speaking, I like to set up my desk before I go to bed for the morning study. So that way, I get up, everything's ready for me to go first thing in the morning, and I don't have to think about it too much. I know what I'm going to work on, so I knew I was going to continue with these film stills. I might pick some different ones that I intended the night before, but I know I'm going to continue with these. So it's having a project and having a specific place are two of the big things. And then the third one would be to, so I guess it's really zoomed in here. The third one, there we go, would be to have a set time that you're working on it. And if you've got a family, that might mean getting up really early in the morning. So like maybe your job starts at 9, so you get up at 5. And you work on this until 6 when everyone else in the family starts getting up in the morning. Usually that's helpful to have like that quiet time when people aren't doing anything. They're all unconscious. But those are, or late in the evening, so you stay up later than everybody else. So the spouse goes to bed, the kids are in bed, and for an hour at night before you go to bed, you work on your project. So those are the three things. So it's having something very specific you want to do for a committed period of time or number of things. Like I've committed to do 100 of these, and I'm at, here's some more right here. This is from Sicario. Right here. See, 72. So I should actually put the numbers on so I don't forget where I'm at. So 72 there, if I remembered was the number. So we've got 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78. So I've got 22 left. I do about 2 a day. Typically, I could do more, but I've been doing 2 a day. Yeah. So it could be like in terms of the length of the project. Again, it could be a number of things you're going to do. It could be how much time you're going to spend on it. So you're going to do 3 months of whatever it is, and you just kind of stick to that, and you'll find that you'll get a lot more done that way. If you're always kind of chasing something random, or you're always disrupting your schedule, then you're just going to kind of keep not progressing very much. Some of the advantage of being like in school as a student at a university is it kind of forces you into a schedule. So as much as people like to kind of diss on university structure, there's definitely problems there that I agree with, that I'm working on all the time. But it is like a very specific time. I do not. But I know people that have done that where they stay up late or they get up early. So I'm single. I have a dog. And students. That's what people have told me before in terms of like the scheduling of their projects and the placement of them. So even if like it's like your kitchen table, but you just know that everybody's gone to bed at a certain point, and that's your spot to work from one time to another time. Even if you don't have like a special room or a desk or whatever, set apart place, you just have the time that's specific for yourself. But anyway, any situation you have, that's the main thing. It's to have a project, a time, and a place. And to do that, you'll be surprised by how far you'll get in a certain amount of time. Even if it isn't every day, say it's 3 days a week or 2 days a week that you've got set apart for whatever it is you're working on. You'll still find that by the end of the year or 6 months, you'll have gotten a lot further than you would otherwise, right? Because you're pushing forward on it. Just a little wet some of these places, but that would be my advice for that kind of situation. Like if you're struggling to get things done and you've got responsibilities all around you, you just say, hey, I want to carve out this little bit of time in the morning or in the evening, but after everyone's gone to sleep or before everyone gets up, and you have your tools ready to go, or you have your subject and your surface ready to go. Yeah, there are a lot of distractions. Even if you don't have like you have plenty of a family, but even if you don't, like a lot of people are very very distracted. They've got a lot of things they're chasing, which is a big problem for a lot of us. Um, there's too many things. So, but anyway, I think that's it for me this morning. Unless somebody has any other questions, I got move on to other things. And we will talk at you later.